Today we hope to show you some of what Carnival Cruise Lines has to offer. So like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if there is a cruise offering you want to know more about.
Hello and welcome to the Carnival Freedom. On this tour, we'll take you deck by deck through the ship, starting from the very top and working our way down. We'll be skipping the decks that are only staterooms because, let's be honest, you didn't click to see a hallway of doors. Instead, we'll be focusing on the dining, entertainment, and all the fun spaces that make this ship worth exploring. Let's get started at the upper decks. Here we have Deck 14 Forward, the upper level of the Serenity deck. Serenity is a relaxation area for adults 21 and up, and on the Carnival Freedom covers the forward section of Deck 14 and most of Deck 12. The clamshell beds tend to be very popular, so be sure to grab one early in the day if you want one. There's the stairs down to the lower level of Serenity, and of course plenty of deck chairs to lie in the sun. Up ahead, you can see a shower and one of the two hot tubs on this deck. Moving over to the port side, you can see the other hot tub and the other shower. And notice that both hot tubs are right up front, so if you're up here while the ship is moving, you'll have a great view of where you're going. Most of the time it'll be empty ocean. This side is essentially just a mirror of the starboard side. Hot tub, shower, several deck chairs for the sun, plenty of other chairs that don't quite give you shade, and one clamshell bed. That's almost all there is on this deck, but before we go downstairs, I'd like to point out that Deck 14 Forward is also where you need to climb in order to get to the water slides, in case that's something you'd like to do. This is one of those rare occasions when there aren't any lines. So now let's just head down these conveniently placed stairs to reach Deck 12 Forward, where we find the other half of Serenity. The only entrance on this deck is on the starboard side, and we'll get to why in a bit, but there's a towel station right away. Big communal seating under the overhang, and a lot more deck chairs along the rail. This one seems bigger than the first one. We saw the top of those stairs a minute ago, and we've just passed the bar. And here's another shower, although there's no hot tub to go with it. Just there in case you want a shower, I guess. Up here at the front of the ship is where you'll find all the other clamshell beds. And here's why there's only one entrance to Serenity on this deck. It's fenced off at this point, with the Camp Ocean play area on the other side. So you've got the kids area right next to the adults area. Makes sense. Moving back around close to the entrance to Serenity, we'll turn and go inside. As I mentioned a few moments ago, the Camp Ocean play place is just on the other side, and down here is where you go to find Camp Ocean itself. If you've got kids 11 and under, this is where they'll go to have some fun with kids their age, and maybe stay out of mom and dad's hair for a bit. Stepping back out to the port side of the ship, we'll now see where the kids have access to the Camp Ocean playground. And then heading toward midship, we see pool and ping pong tables, which you may have noticed when we came outside just now. Oh, and a foosball table. I almost missed that one. Now we'll head down to Deck 11 Forward, which is the spa deck. We still haven't gotten low enough on the ship to walk front to back, so we'll give you the other side in a bit. But for now, coming inside, you'll find the spa, as the name of the deck suggests. If you're the type that frequents a spa on these ships, this is where you'll find it. Also inside the spa is the fitness center, which can only be accessed by going through the locker rooms. I'm not running a camera through there for obvious reasons, so I'll see you on the other side, right about now. As you can see, there are plenty of treadmills, bikes, step machines, and other standard things you'd expect to find in a gym. Come get your workout in before hitting the buffet. We've now come back outside through the same door we went in as we head down to the Deck 10 Forward, the Panorama deck. We'll now be heading all the way around the ship as well as climbing up on the aft side. This is where you'll find Carnival Waterworks, the ship's water park. I showed you earlier where to find the entrances to the slides way up on Deck 14. As you can see, we had to go up a few stairs to continue toward the back of the ship. Due to all the deck chairs, the area around Carnival Waterworks can be a bit confusing when you first get there, as they're all on different levels, but there is only one level that will continue along Deck 10. We've reached midship on the port side, and you've already seen a bunch of deck chairs, and here are more of them. and up here are the oversized chessboard and some cushioned seats. The port side of this deck is non-smoking, and a fire on a cruise ship is no joke, so please only smoke in designated areas. And now we've reached the back of the ship, and there are still more chairs back here in case you want to watch where we were. Or you can turn around and look at the back of the Lido deck. We'll get to that soon. Now we'll head back up toward the front of the ship, this time on the starboard side. But first, let's take a look inside these doors. This is the old-fashioned barbecue, one of many dining options you have on the ship. You can also get here from the Lido deck, and it's probably easier that way, since you don't have to walk through the seating area to get to the counter from that direction. We just passed a set of stairs, and there's another one right over there. There's nowhere else to go from here except down to the Lido deck, but we're not ready for that yet. So let's turn around and go back out the way we came. So now we're on the starboard side of deck 10, and it's pretty much just like the port side, except as I mentioned that smoking is allowed over here. Although I don't think the port side had these chairs with umbrellas, and there's a random shower for some reason. Now that we've basically been all the way around deck 10, let's head up the stairs to see what the aft portion of deck 11 is like. While technically still called the spa deck, this is where you'll find the sports deck. That isn't confusing at all. Like most, if not all of Carnival's ships, you'll quickly find yourself on the jogging track. Be sure you go counterclockwise, as all of the joggers will be too. You may have seen the sports courts as we passed them. Sorry I was too busy talking about other stuff to point them out. But here is the putt-putt course. As usual, it's a higher degree of difficulty if you play golf while the ship is moving. And remember earlier when I said a fire on a cruise ship is no joke? Well, the Carnival Freedom knows that all too well. That's why it doesn't have a full whale tail smokestack anymore. You can look it up. As of this recording, it is set to be replaced in 2026, so it may or may not still look like this when you get there. We've made it back to the sports courts, so let's continue with the tour. We're now heading back down to deck 9 forward, the Lido deck, and we're starting at the pool area. Lots of chairs facing the main pool and the big screen, where you can watch a movie or two every night. Just to the left on the starboard side is the Red Frog Rum Bar. Continuing along the starboard side, we quickly come to one of the most popular places on the ship to eat, Guy's Burger Joint. And just past that is the Starboard Swirls, where you can get soft serve ice cream and frozen yogurt most of the day, but it was closed when I recorded this. Next we come to the first part of the Grand Buffet, the most common place to grab food, and therefore can have quite a long line. And over here is one of the many drink stations you'll find around the Lido deck. Depending on the time of day, you'll either have a small selection of juices or lemonade and iced tea, but you can also grab water, coffee, tea, and even hot chocolate if that's something you'll drink regardless of how hot it is outside. I'd advise you to have someone grab a place to sit while someone else is in line if possible, as these seats usually get taken very quickly. Continuing along the starboard side, we now come to the Banzai Sushi Express station. If you want some sushi, you can come here during its operating hours, but it does cost extra. If you come over here in the morning, this is set up as an omelet station. Omelets don't cost extra, but can have a bit of a line at times. Here you can see the Family Express sign. It wasn't set up when we were filming, but as of when I'm recording this, it's a fairly new thing Carnival is doing as part of the Grand Buffet. It's still a buffet, but it includes things that younger kids are more apt to want, like chicken nuggets and hot dogs, things like that. And in the background there, you can see the staircases that lead up to the old-fashioned barbecue. Over there is a coffee nook. Yes, it's an extra charge. And beyond that, the aft stairs and elevators. And that brings us to the back of the ship. Right here at the starboard corner is the Seafood Shack, another place to eat and another place that costs extra to do so. We didn't get a chance to try it on this ship. Turning around, we see the aft pool, known as the Endless Pool, along with 2 hot tubs. And now over in the port side corner, we find Pizza Pirate, the obligatory pizza counter you'll find on every ship. And behind that, next to the pool, is the Endless Pool Bar, so you can drink and swim. Now we're heading back up toward the front of the ship on the port side. Most of it is the same as the starboard side, but we will point out the differences. Opposite from where we found the sushi bar, you'll find the deli. the ship's lunch counter that offers up several different kinds of sandwiches. Here's the front of the Grand Buffet again. And here we have the Swirls ice cream station on the port side. And just in front of that is the Blue Iguana Cantina, a great place to come for breakfast or lunch if you want tacos, burritos, or bowls of food. And if you do go there, don't miss the Salsa Bar, which is closed at this point, but will otherwise provide a lot of options. And as we approach the front of the Lido deck, we also see the Blue Iguana Bar, not to be confused with the cantina we just passed. For those of you going for a swim, the towel hut is just to the side here, where you can get fresh towels and turn in the ones you've used. Decks 6, 7, and 8 only have staterooms, so we're heading down to Deck 5, starting with the back of the ship. Here's where you'll find the International Lounge, which is where they hold a number of gatherings, as well as being the location of the Punchliner Comedy Club. And these benches at the end of the booths do swivel. From the hallway over on the port side, you'll find the Swing Time Jazz Club, if that's the kind of thing you're into. Over on the starboard side, you'll find Scott's Piano Bar, and now we're starting to see a theme of music and drinking. We're going to take a quick detour here at the aft stairs and elevators because this is something that confused us at first, so hopefully this helps you out. There are bathrooms right here between the stairs and elevators, and if you open this door either by the button or the handle, you'll enter a hallway that has doors for men's, women's, and handicap bathrooms. We completely missed this the first couple days of our cruise. Heading back out into the main hall, next to the piano bar, you'll find the Alchemy Bar, which you'll find in just about every ship. If you want to try a drink that isn't one of the normal things you get, this is where you want to go. Across from that is the 70s nightclub, so you've got your choice of partying with jazz, piano music, or disco, all at the back of Deck 5. This is also where they hold their art auctions, for those of you who shop for paintings at sea. I do kind of wish we'd gotten footage of this dance floor lighting up in various colors. Next we come to the warehouse, the ship's arcade. This entrance is very narrow. We managed to get this footage when no one was around, but it is often very busy and it gets ridiculously difficult to get through this little passage. As you can see, for such a small space, they managed to include a bunch of games to play and prizes to attempt to win. Of course, you do have to buy credits in order to play, and you can do that in that really narrow entranceway I mentioned. We'll head back out into the Promenade again, and this entire hallway will be filled with places to get pictures taken each day of your cruise, usually at night. You can see exactly where we were when we filmed this, and in case you want to pinpoint where on the planet your ship is, this will tell you. There's also a map channel on your TV in your stateroom. Here's where you'll find the Red Frog Pub, not to be confused with the one on the Lido deck we saw earlier. This one's larger, has places to sit, and isn't subjected to the elements of the outdoors. There is occasionally live music. And they have foosball and shuffleboard as well. Right next to the Red Frog, you'll find the Java Blue Cafe. Yes, it's another place to get a snack, and yes, it's another place that costs extra to do so. Just beyond that is the Carnival Adventure Store, because you can't have too many places to shop. Over here are the midship elevators and stairs, but not much else other than an alternate way to get into the casino. But we'll be moving forward back in the Promenade. Over here we have the Centuries Bar, in case you missed all the other bars, and there's sometimes live music here as well. And as we just saw in the elevator area, we've come to the Babylon Casino, which is only open when the ship is at sea and is for adults 21 and up. And now we come to the front of the ship, which is where you'll find the fun shops. These are places to buy souvenirs, clothing, watches, perfume, and a number of other things, including candy over at Cherry on Top. It's an open view down to the lobby on Deck 3, where there can be games, parties, and live music, depending on the schedule. Amongst the shops on the port side, you'll find the Heroes Tribute Bar and Lounge, a bar honoring those who served in the American military. And here's a quick look around at the various fun shops. They were closed at the time of filming as we were in port. They're only open while the ship is at sea. Over here is a Carnival Insider's desk. Sometimes you'll find useful information there about the ship and the upcoming ports of call. We've now taken the glass elevator to Deck 4, the Atlantic deck, at the front of the ship. Heading out this way and going all the way to the front, you'll find the upper level of the Victoriana Theater, where all the main shows are performed. I believe you can also get here from Deck 5, but we didn't go that way earlier. It's usually, but not always, easier to find a seat up here than it is down on the main floor. So now that we're back where the glass elevators are, let's keep moving toward the back of the ship, and the first thing we see is Pixels, Carnival's photo studio, which is currently closed. So let's show you what it looks like when they're open. On newer ships, they've got everything digitized. But here they still print out your pictures for you to find on these walls, which you can then either buy or throw them in the recycling bin. It's much easier when you can just check the Carnival Hub app. Less wasteful too. Moving on past Pixels, we come to the Monticello Library. It's a good place to sit and read, or play one of the board games that they have in here, or lay out all of your pictures you found on the wall at Pixels to try to decide which are keepers and which aren't. Or maybe take a nap. I won't judge. Heading out and to the right, you'll come across this hallway which leads to two places. First, there's Circle C, which is the second kids club on the ship. Cap Ocean is for kids 11 and under, while Circle C is for 12 to 14-year-olds. And it's also the entrance to the upper level of the Chic restaurant, one of two restaurants you may have your dinners reserved in. There was also a third place that hall led to, which is essentially extra space for Pixels. We never saw anything interesting there, so let us know if you did. Normally you have to go out to the outside deck in order to get past the restaurant, so I don't know how we were able to walk through it. But we've gotten to the midship elevators, and around this way you'll find the final kids club, Club 02, which is for teens 15 and up. There are really only a few things further back than this, one of which is the odd staircase going up to Deck 5 between the arcade and the Red Frog pub. And just beyond that is the Havana Bar, which is the ship's cigar bar. Going out of the back of this leads you to the aft elevator area, as well as the upper level of the posh restaurant, the other restaurant you might have your dinners in. This one we can't get into right now. That brings us down to Deck 3, the lobby deck, and the lowest one that isn't all staterooms. Behind us is the main floor of the Victoriana Theater, which we showed you on Deck 4, and right here is the Carnival Adventures desk, where you can buy any shore excursions you haven't bought yet. Here is where you'll find the Millennium Lobby and Bar, and as I mentioned earlier, they'll often have games, live music, and parties here. And opposite from the Carnival Adventures desk is where you'll see the Guest Services desk, in case you have any questions, concerns, or complaints. And right here's a kiosk where you can access your account information, what you spent it on, that sort of thing. Once again, the theater is up ahead of us, and they've got it closed right now, so let's head back the other way, towards midship. This hallway basically matches the one up on Deck 4. The art gallery is to the left, and is closed right now. To the right is the annex to the chic restaurant. And straight ahead is the lower level of the chic restaurant itself. The majority of Deck 3 is taken up by the galley, which is employees only, so we're not going in there. We are hoping we can get to the back of the ship from the outer deck. And it looks like they've got it roped off, so we can't get back there this way either. But the only thing at the back of Deck 3 is the lower level of the posh restaurant. And that means if you're booked into the posh restaurant at Deck 3, you'll have to get to the back of the ship on a different deck and then take the stairs or the elevator. Looks like this is also a smoking area. And that's our tour. What did you think? Is there anything you're looking forward to on your next trip? Have you been on the Carnival Freedom and want to share some information that we didn't include? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of new uploads. And while you're here, check out some of our other videos.